My name's Trev. I'm BD Director for both Assembly of Gods and MinerX, which we'll get to in a second. This presentation is three sections. The first section is just a few slides on Bitcoin and the market thesis, investment thesis. The middle section is about the community, the history of the community, the leaders of the community, and the final few slides is about the tech and the reward mechanisms and the financials overall. So this first slide is simply just stating the fact that Bitcoin is 15 years old. It's here to stay. It's a fact. It's a reality, and it's going to continue to make a bigger and bigger impression on the global economy as an asset class, including onboarding and on-ramps and off-ramps for crypto. Right, multiple companies and now governments themselves are recognizing it. El Salvador, etc. So it's not just Bitcoin, but other cryptocurrencies are being recognized as a form of payment. So we have 120 countries that recognize it in some way, some shape, some form. We have still hundreds of companies building around this legacy infrastructure of Bitcoin, layer twos, etc. And we have 100 million people every month that are buying and selling Bitcoin in one way, shape, or form. So this slide and the next slide is really just saying that we're exiting the bear market. You can see from last year to this year. And then again, in a different chart, last year to this year, the thesis is that we've now in the first 6 months of the new bear market. So we've got pretty much around 18 more months to start to exit the valley, climb the mountain for the next market peak at end of 2025 or early 2026. So with the price predictions is 150K by the end of this year. The price predictions is 350K by the near future, and 1.5 million by the end of the decade. And as an asset class, it's already surpassed silver for market cap. It will ideally continue to surpass Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, and surpass all listed companies for pure market cap. And then hopefully in the next decade, it'll surpass gold and the top position to become the true digital gold. And then, of course, Donald Trump will, if elected in November, turn Wall Street into, and hopefully turn the laws into something that will also boost up Bitcoin and crypto prices. So now the question is how to get your hands on more Bitcoin, every individual around the world, how they can get more Bitcoin. So now a few slides on Right Arms Project, which is led by the two gentlemen on these slides here. So goes back to 2018. The mission statement is to discover new trends, new tech, new projects. It's been mostly about GameFi. It has been, of course, about NFTs. It's about Web3 in general. So when it comes to DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, we're talking about freedom, open equality, connectedness, co-creation. And then, of course, having their ear to the ground for future trends, wherever those trends may be, whether it's layer twos or whatever. So as the industry itself continues to change. So the first gentleman out in Los Angeles has been doing Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining for a decade plus. Has been mining as well across multiple countries. Is a crypto whale with thousands and thousands of Bitcoin on his person. Was very successful as a community leader with Axie Infinity these last few years, when Axie Infinity was just through the roof as a community. On the NFT side with CryptoPunks and BAYC, Bored Ape Yacht Club, also really a mover and a shaker, and has worked again with some really successful projects with Polygon, Chainlink, and building communities. Now, hopefully joining us in a few minutes to follow up with some Q&A because he's hosting some folks right now on the ground. These few minutes is Dr. Sri Jeffrey, colloquially known as DSJ. So studied in Boston, Massachusetts at Harvard, received the FinTech, Financial Tech PhD, 10 plus years in network marketing, has worked with a backdoor listing on the London Stock Exchange, which is AIQ Limited, which was a 2000X from less than 10 pence per share to more than 140 pounds per share. Starting in 2018 with project number one was, and still continues to be, the biggest reward mechanism for the community, which is Uniswap. The Asia Pacific main distributor continues today to be a masternode holder, representing 30% of Ethereum assets in the Uniswap liquidity pool, which is anywhere between 2 million and 3 million net present market value. So then, many millions of community members across many countries are now growing. Again, huge NFT collector that could not be understated. And then government side has worked with Scott Morrison in Canberra, Australia, as a blockchain advisor, the former prime minister, and continues to advise Scott Morrison and other folks that are serving as various ministers in the current government. So co-founder and takes great pride in having touched at least 100,000 folks over the years to give them $1 million lifestyle. And then this gentleman, if you guys are coming over here to Thailand, will be able to really assist you folks and get you going, whether it's in Philippines or Vietnam or wherever, and then beyond. But specifically in Southeast Asia, it's just got a lot of great success stories for such a young guy. So for me, on the project side, the project itself started 2 years ago with the mission statement of in 2022 of building just an app and building some games. So that was really just the nascence. It was funded with NFT sales. That was mostly directed towards here in East Asia. And the NFTs were able to fund the app launch, token airdrops, and community rewards, which were promised and continue to be rewarded today. The token is now in the middle. From step one was data acquisition, which really just means let's get minimum 2 million signups, right? Let's build a community for the app. Number two is data on chain, which means now we've got actual transactions, we've got actual liquidity, so we've got a token, we've got the app nearly launched. The DEX was announced in March. The liquidity pool was also official as of March, April. The money's locked and ready to go, and the NFTs continue to serve as VIP access pass. Now, on the right side, for today and tomorrow, deals with K-pop projects, other sort of film projects, other sort of platforms that are now not necessarily married, but have very strategic partnerships with the AOG app in order to guarantee liquidity and large communities coming on board to the community using the AOGT token as a form of exchange, etc. And now focused again on legacy Bitcoin and other top 20 tokens. So exactly 1 month ago, at the beginning of last month, here in Phuket, there was the official signing ceremonies for Right Arms and AOG, Assembly of Gods, and MinerX. So that 10 million cash injection in majority controlling stake. So MinerX is now fully under the control of the project and the app to bring more value to all investors. So the goal of the business model, these next few slides, is just discussing what is the tech. This is the investment proposal is a software and hardware play, which is called MinerX, as you can see in the photo here. And the goal is to get everybody to be able to get more Bitcoin some way, somehow, working alongside mining operators. So you can see in this slide here, you've got the accelerator, you've got the absolute necessity, which is the collaboration with consenting mining farms to split the mining profits, get the Bitcoin, and then split out the fee, the extra dividends and extra mined coin to the community and split that profit. So MinerX, in brief, is a bit of quantum bit technology qubits, as well as AI, AI-powered hash filtering, so boosting real-world efficiency. So it's eco-friendly, user-friendly, and it's quite efficient. So now this slide is trying to tell folks that if they're signing up, they can log in and they can see where their MinerX is directed to. So they can log on and see my MinerX is directed to the mining farm in Laos. My MinerX is directed to the one with BitGood in Dallas, Texas, etc. And they can see the Bitcoin in real time and also have the ability, if they so wish, to cash out. So this is a rental proposal. MinerX in Irkutsk, which is just north of Mongolia in eastern Russia, is the hardware producer, which is now producing and looking to secure by the end of this calendar year through this project 100,000 units produced, right, by the end of December. And the software element, with which we're going to discuss now, the AI and all the computing, is done by a service provider out of London, UK. Okay, so you can see on the right side, as opposed to an investor coming in with a relatively small investment, they don't have any of the overhead, they don't have any assumed risks or costs of getting machines or pieces of real estate or electricity or rent or any of that other stuff. This is really a literal plug and play investment. So mining is difficult, and how are we going to make it easy? So we've got two main items here, which is qubits, quantum bit technology, which is enhancing computational power, and a bit of AI hash filtering, which is reducing redundant calculations. So you can see that unlike traditional mining, what you have is now multiple binary states. You can see, so you have 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, which is just saying that the calculations are running in parallel. And then you can see here from this timeline sort of flow chart, if you have standard 10-minute blocks being mined, but you are now adding MinerX to the equation, you're going to get some hash aggregation, you're going to get some hash filtering, strategized optimization, and then you're going to be able to get an increase of 100 up to 300%, therefore resulting in more Bitcoin mined. So there's pre-calculated results. There's hash value tested with same power consumption, eco-friendly. The shortening the time required to compute each block. right before the 10-minute blocks are completed, and then improve success rate and overall efficiency. So in summary, it's a bit of AI, it's a bit of quantum computing, some smart neural network learning. There's the invalidation of hashes, aggregation of hashes. So that's filtering ones that are not needed, and then algorithms throughout. So one more point to add is that MinerX is compatible with other top 20 tokens that are proof of work, which also use mining rigs, such as Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Monero Dash, etc. Now, here on the ground here in Phuket, you can see this is the street view. You also can find on the map at BTC Phuket, known as the Blockchain Technology Center. The Bitcoin Hotel is under construction down just next door. They're confirming the facility right now. So this is 2 acres of land. It's government land, 20 million US dollar investment. This is the photo from the street side when you pull in. This is building number 1 of 3. The one in the back is the event facility and the AR and VR and XR facility and huge event center. There's a coffee shop on the ground floor. MinerX is on the 3rd floor. You guys will be able to see the facility, the 3,000 MinerXs that are currently plugged in and running behind high security doors with facial recognition. And the Bitcoin Hotel is going to be secured on the side. So this is government land, and then there's essentially some local established entities that are managing the assets and trying to create an ecosystem here and trying to partner with blockchain focused projects. So this is a data center for MinerX. This is not necessarily, even though on the ground floor you can see Bitcoin mining machines in the coffee shop on the ground floor. Those mining machines are not necessarily working with us. The MinerXs are running just in parallel in real time as through the data center on the 3rd floor. Okay. And I directed back to Laos or Texas or wherever it may be, depending on your contract. So in summary, Right Arms project since 2018 has helped multiple projects, right? Uniswap, etc. Bored Ape Yacht Club, whatever it may be. So now building communities, building sales channels. Now for this app project, pushing almost 2 years now, now MinerX, as of a few weeks ago, is the official new sales play to further build out a legitimate ecosystem. When getting more Bitcoin to the platform is certainly a smart move for everybody. So this is my favorite slide, which really shows the big picture, which shows the beginning on the top left, which is the project itself, the new sales strategy. You can see what we just talked about, the MinerX, and now over in Dallas, Texas, BitGood. There will be an event at the end of October, beginning of November, for sales leaders to go visit the sites that will be organized by Right Arms. And you can see it's a 50-50 split. And so what is not going right back to BitGood, according to the document signed at the event last month, is going to go subdivided. That 50% that's kicked back to, over on the left side of your screen, pure Bitcoin rewards for most, if not everybody. But that 30% is held back for other rewards, for bonuses and sales and team leaders. And then 10% is held back as a fund management fee for contingencies, reinvestment in the project's hardware, software, upgrades, etc. So anybody joining is joining the Right Arms community, and anybody joining gets to have a login from day one, and they get to enjoy the fact that they have their own wallet and everything else in the login, so they can trade assets, et cetera, et cetera. So now finally wrapping up here, these last few slides. Again, I reiterate here one more time: this is a rental contract. These are not for sale on the retail level. AOG and MinerX is controlling sort of that middle process of the hardware production. So 1,000 USDT, as you see at the top, is a standard contract, and there's 100 USDT swap of the native token to initiate the contract fee, and about $2 network fee. So 1102, 1103 would be the total USDT required, and then the sales strategy, for example, in Vietnam and Philippines and Africa would be 100 USDT, which is a fractional ownership contract. So people can pitch in and they will all be able to see of their percent of their MinerX, right? You can have, $500 US, also have half a MinerX, so you get exactly half the results of a full contract, right? And then the exit mechanism is 3x, meaning your 1,000 USDT turns into 3,000 USDT. That's when your rental contract finishes. And similarly, if you have 100 USDT, it will max out at 300 USDT. Then the question is, when does that max out? And now I will explain. But just, you can see here the specs of all the mining rigs, which is most of the mining rigs around the world. Whoops, the average computational power, acceleration efficiency is in the mid-range of 150%. So daily profitability at current market rates at 5960K, 0.00007 is $4.25 US. That's on the low end of the spectrum. On the high end of the spectrum, at 0.0002, we're talking about $13, okay, or $11.5, $12 at 59K. So if your MinerX device is in the middle range, let's say 0.0001, we're talking about $7 or $8 at current market prices. So your contract, whether it's 100 US or 1,000 US, would be at a daily rate averaging $7, would be, now you break even around 4 or 5 months, and then you would be 3x at 1 calendar year, assuming market prices continue at 59K. But the MinerX device is on the higher end of this range, right? So this is a conservative estimate of, low end would be, $4, $5, $6 at current market prices. Okay, so now finally, reiterating here one more time that it's not 100% of exactly half. Again, half's going back to any miner facility, the mining farm that's consenting. 60% would be the pure profit going to any individual investor. 30% is to reward, sales leaders and team leaders. So now here, before we wrap up to the final slide, one contract over 4 months would net you 0.018 Bitcoin with one MinerX. And if we're assuming a market price of 80K, then your paper profit is 1,440, and 60% of 1,440 would be nearly $900. So your break even at 80K Bitcoin price would be around 4.5 months, okay? Without any sales, without any referrals, without any other things, just your device's break even. And then you still have another $2,000 to claw back over the next following months. Then you can see at 10 contracts running in parallel over 4 months, you get 0.18 Bitcoin. If we assume a market price of 150K per Bitcoin, let's say in December or January, let's say the Bitcoin just goes through the roof, your profit on paper is 27K, and you've already broken even and got back your 10K, and you're at 16.5K almost of that 60%, really after just 2-3 months as opposed to 4 months already. So your break even is quite early, but that's assuming that Bitcoin goes up. So the logic of this slide is to say that you want to get it at an earlier price and maybe be mining a little bit longer in time, because you're actually getting more Bitcoin at a lower price. So you'd rather max out your contract over 8 months rather than 4 months, because you're going to be obliged to either top up or finish your contract in 4 months if you're mining at such a high daily US dollar equivalent. Okay, so in summary, Right Arms has had the same legacy infrastructure, which is a referral, a matching, and a same rank. So now you can see on the final slide, the referral, the matching, and the same rank. Anybody coming in is a member, and $1,000 contract referred to your friend would result in a 5% back to you, which would equal 50 USDT. And then a matching bonus equals 5% of that person's daily, your buddy you've referred, their daily Bitcoin mining, which is measured every day, right? But you're not entitled as a normal member to their active sign-up bonuses, etc. But if you want to start to climb up the hierarchy, and to answer one of the questions coming into this call is how to get true DAO voting rights, is you must arrive at a level 6. And my understanding is that there's less than 60 folks as of today since 2018 that have reached R6, because they're kind of maxed out according to the right side of the column here of qualifying for that next promotion to the top level. But the people that are at R6s are the ones that do have the true voting rights to vote, purely democratically on what should the project pursue as the very next project, right? Or what should be onboarded into the ecosystem. So to get to R1, you need 3 direct referrals, 3 individuals. You need direct sales that aggregate to 10K, which could be through referral number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you need group sales of 40K as you start to establish your network. And then you are entitled to a 10% passive Bitcoin mining bonus from everybody below you. And then you're also entitled to now the active same rank bonus of all active signups coming your way from anybody that is in your downline. And one final piece of information here regarding the NFTs and the basic nodes. These just mean that exactly 2 years ago, when the project started and it was initially funded, there was 10,000 NFTs that were at market price of 5,000 US each. Whoops. And those were all maxed out. Those are all sold out, right? Having said that, there was 1,000 extra ones, which are called legendaries, and there were 300 mythical ones that were truly VIP, and those market prices are 15K for the legendary and 45K for the mythical. So a person that achieves level R3 and a person that achieves level R5 are gifted those, right? And those just mean more payouts. If you wanted the details on what those NFTs entitled to you regarding airdrops, etc., the Right Arms project is going to detail that, and same thing with R4, R5, R6. A basic node, full node, and supernode just means continued airdrops of various tokens that have been under the Right Arms project community since 2018. And there's many projects that are paying out per my understanding. So at the bottom here, when it's coming to that 70%, 30%, is basically reiterating here that CW means cash wallet, and that will be held back for anybody that's continuing to get signups for those folks to incentivize more people to sign up. And that voucher and those discounts will allow you to eventually be able to make back your money in full through additional signups, etc. Okay, so with that being said, I think I am going to now stop the recording, and then we will move on to